Hey guys, welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video, guess what? I have finally had the chance to watch some really old, really epic anime that I've been meaning to get around to. So, I watched Violet Evergreen, and I did a video on that. I actually got to watch Bleach. I actually got to watch Soul Eater. I kind of skimmed through some of the mangas, but I'm pretty sure I want to read the mangas before I do those reviews. I also indeed watched Hunter x Hunter. I started that series a long time ago, but I never got around finishing it. I'm actually at now, like, maybe episode, I think, 99, 96, 97, I'm somewhere in the 90s. Yeah. Considering Hunter x Hunter has, I believe, about over 300 episodes, it's gonna be a long time before I do any kind of video on Hunter x Hunter, but that will be coming eventually down the line. But in today's video, I actually had a chance to watch Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm going to review it. I'm not really going to talk about spoilers or anything like that. I'm kind of doing this video to hopefully encourage you guys who have not watched it, like me, to finally watch it, because it actually is a really fantastic show, and I really did enjoy myself in it. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about it and what's going on with it, and you know, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Full Metal Alchemist. Now, just by the name, you know that this is going to be mystic magic and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, something like fairy tale. Or actually, Sword Art Online has a lot of fairy tale aspects too, now that I think of it. And when I first got into this, I was thinking it was going to go a lot more that route. But to my very amazement, yes, it does kind of go into the unbelievable mystic magic, but it tries its hardest to stick it in science. And that's something that I really, really like. So, Full Metal Alchemist. In the world of Full Metal Alchemist, alchemy is actually not considered magic. Alchemy is considered science. It's the properties of giving stuff up to gain something back. Giving an equal amount of something, gaining an equal amount of something else back. And that's really, really fascinating to me. It's the whole situation of magic is really just science you don't understand. That's kind of what I believe. That's why I kind of like the UFO stories about how the aliens built Egypt and stuff like that. I don't buy into all of the myths and all of the little mystic magic mojo that they have, and all of the theories out there. I don't buy into a lot of it, actually, but you must admit, and as well as I do admit, that there is something that we probably just don't understand that is rooted in science, because there's always a scientific explanation for everything. And truth be told, ghosts are real. I don't care who says they're not. They're real. I've had experiences. Ghosts are real. And what's really interesting about Full Metal Alchemist is the characters themselves. These two brothers, and that's why they have a second show called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I will say this just now. I tried to watch it. The animation, don't get me wrong, it's amazing, and it's supposed to be a little bit more based off the manga. I did, in fact, read some of the manga, skimmed most of it, and I think Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, just to me, was actually a disappointing start to bringing Full Metal Alchemist back. Truthfully, I don't like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood at all. I think the original anime was fantastic, and the manga was, from what I actually read and skimmed over, I mean, I skimmed over a lot of it, but what I actually got to read from it was just fantastic. and I will definitely say this, if I go back and read anything, it's probably going to be Full Metal Alchemist. I really want to read the manga, read that full manga, I just don't have the time. But as for Full Metal Alchemist, the anime, oh my god, the characters themselves are really just absolutely insanely good. It's really all about this little boy named Elric. You know what? Just give me a second. Let me actually look up that name so I don't mispronounce it. There's Edward Elric, I know, but the one that I almost always get wrong is I think it's pronounced Alfonso? Alfonso? Alphonse? Ilphonse? Okay, I cannot say the little brother's name at all. I am sorry, and I only really watched the show in Japanese. I watched the first 3 episodes in English dub, but then I instantly went to the Japanese after that because I thought the show was just so fantastic. And you know, that's what I typically do. If I absolutely love a show, I will switch to the Japanese immediately. If I think a show is alright, then I'll watch the English dub. And actually, that's why when I watch Bleach, I actually just watch the English dub. I'm not even going to watch the Japanese because I do plan to make a full video on Bleach as well. I did like it, but I didn't love it as much as I love Full Metal Alchemist. But it's really about these two brothers, and these two brothers are going through this journey of just trying to get back what they've lost. Now, what did they lose? They lost themselves, especially the little brother. The little brother is now stuck in a suit of armor. His soul is stuck in a suit of armor. And their whole backstory is really, really fascinating. So, their mother unfortunately got sick and passed away. And without going into too much detail, I will say this. They wanted to bring her back. Now, bringing somebody back is, of course, highly illegal for these two boys. And these two boys, at the time, didn't understand the whole thing about soul. I mean, you can copy anything. You can take all of the elements of the human body and create a human body. It's not impossible, especially for this universe. It's not impossible at all. But the fact is, you're never going to actually create another soul. And that's what I found was really fascinating, that whole philosophy about the human soul versus the human body, and alchemy versus science. Alchemy being science we don't understand. Of course, in this universe, alchemy is science. They understand. It was a really, really cool type of story that they ended up doing. But what basically happened is they tried to bring their mother back, and they just couldn't do it. Especially Edward. And Edward's kind of more the main character. Edward, unfortunately, lost his arm, and his little brother, he almost lost his entire brother. He actually was able to chain his little brother's soul to a piece of armor, and that's how he keeps his brother around. And it's really, really sad, because you really, really feel for the little brother. Eventually, there is this part of the story where, and I'm going to say it wrong, Alphonse Elric? I think I said that name wrong. The little brother. The little brother in the big metal suit. He tends to ask the whole question, well, is he still alive? Is he still him? He's kind of forgetting not only his mother, which, you know, when someone passes away, and it was so long ago, you tend to forget certain things, and it's very unfortunate. I have been there because my grandfather passed when I was 10 years old, and I am now 22. So, it's been over a dozen years, and there's certain things that I feel like I should remember about him, but I don't. I don't even remember the sound of his voice. Really, I don't. And it's really, really sad when you think of it. Because that's basically what Alfonso's gone through, but his is much worse, being that he's basically trapped, his soul is basically trapped in an animated object. He doesn't really have a bite, he's not really alive. Of course his soul is, but it's that whole question of was the soul, was the body, and it's just really, really fascinating, and I really like the fact that while they were able to recreate life, they weren't able to recreate soul. And that leads into, of course, the villains of the series. So, the villains of the series, the real villains of the series, are of their own making. Like, they tried to create their mom, and the creature that they created comes back to haunt them, because they're mad that they don't have a soul. And that, just think of how messed up that would be. Being created, knowing your creator, and not knowing love, not knowing what a soul is. Just being an object. That the whole philosophical questions that this show kind of portrays is just fantastic and amazing. And I am 100% definitely not the person to go through it. But I thought that they were absolutely fantastic. It is a fantastic show. I really, really like all of the main characters, plus Roy Mustang, and, you know, Winry, there was this little girl, I think that's Winry is her name, that pretty much had a crush on Elric, and I love the whole chemistry of the entire, and I know, chemistry, there's a joke there, I won't make it, but the whole chemistry of the cast was really fantastic in the show, and I really, really did enjoy it. Now, for all of those who really want to watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, watch Full Metal Alchemist first. Watch the original anime first before you even try Full Alchemist Brotherhood. And unfortunately, the show kind of ends on this off note that it kind of asks the question of what's going to happen next, but doesn't ever tell you. Doesn't really complete the whole story. And I thought Brotherhood was going to be a continuation of the story that ended in the original, but that's not what it is. It's just a complete remake, and while the animation is beautiful, if you don't know these main characters, if you do not have a connection with these main characters, then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is not really going to help you. So, out of the two shows, I would definitely watch the original anime. And believe it or not, the original anime doesn't have that bad animation either. Actually, in terms of the time this show originally came out of, I'm actually very surprised with how good the animation quality is. I think it's actually a whole lot better than Dragon Ball at some cases, or a whole lot better than Naruto in some cases. It's very consistent as well. That's what's really great about it, is every single episode has very consistent anime. And, yeah, I think I can praise this show all day, but that's not going to help you guys get into it. Guys, if you have not watched Full Metal Alchemist, then please do so. I would definitely rank it as one of the best animes I've ever seen. And I think that is going to be it for this video. I hope that this video convinced you of not only my thoughts on Full Metal Alchemist, but convinced you yourself to watch it. And I don't know about you, but I'm probably gonna go back and read the manga. Okay, let's be honest. I'm probably not, but that was a nice way to end it. I want to read the manga, I probably just don't have time to. When I get time to, though, I am probably going to read this manga. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye.